We have some huge news here. This is from James K. Fallon. Says breaking. Hinman docs turn over to Ripple. See below from Stuart Alderati. So coming over here, Jeremy Hogan says, well, the Hinman emails have been produced. Coming over here, Stuart Alderati says, over 18 months and 6 court orders later, we finally have the Hinman docs, internal SEC emails and drafts of his infamous 2018 speech. While they remain confidential for now at the SEC's instances, I can say that it was well worth the fight to get them. I've always felt good about our legal arguments, and I feel even better now. I've always felt bad about the SEC's tactics, and I feel even worse about them now. Check this out. Bragg Allhouse even says something here. It says, the SEC wants you to think that it cares about disclosure, transparency, and clarity. Don't believe them. When the truth eventually comes out, the shamefulness of the behavior here will shock you. Johnny Deaton's responding to Stuart Alderati's tweet here where he's talking about he felt good about his legal arguments and he feels worse about the SEC's tactics. He says, let me translate what the well-spoken general counsel is saying, in my opinion. The SEC's nickname is Shady McGrady. And then John Deaton also says the truth can be hid for only so long. And we've been talking about that on this channel. It's like, it's just a matter of when this thing really turns around, not if. Especially with, the decentralized community coming after him. Ripple, obviously standing their ground in court within litigation. You have Jason Foster and Empower Oversight, the class action lawsuit with Johnny Deaton, and so on. I mean, there's so much pressure, being applied to the SEC for their shadiness. Digital Asset Investor says, it took over a year when nobody believed us and we were just a bunch of conspiracy theorists and unfounded speculation. Let me throw that in. But we knew we were right and only want a level playing field. Get ready to be shocked by what the SEC has been hiding if we get to see it. And that's a big if, like if we do get to see it, which would be highly interesting if we did. I mean, I feel like at this point we all deserve to see it, but we'll see. So, with all that being said, now we're at the crossroads. So now, with all the motions being filed and all these things, discovery and all this stuff, pretty much everything's laid out on the table. So now we know who has what. There's no, secret hidden gun that, they've been talking about. Everything's laid out there. So it's now up to Ripple and the SEC to come to some terms if they're going to go the settlement route. So obviously Ripple has the scrutiny of if they take this thing to distance, they can literally dip into more and more fees, hundreds of millions of dollars worth of fees. And then you have the SEC side of things, if they continue to take this thing, the distance and, obviously they look like they're losing like terribly. They're risking their power within, regulating these so-called securities that they consider securities within the space. So there's going to be a lot of, pushback, give and take. But it's going to be quite interesting to see if they come out with some sort of settlement and what those terms are going to look like. And I'm really curious to see if we are going to see, as a public, going to know what's in those Hinman emails. But this is absolutely huge. I'm going to put it back on the screen really quick. Breaking: Hinman docs turn over to Ripple. This is absolutely massive milestone for the community, for Ripple, for the crypto space in general. This is huge. Man, I bet they're just literally salivating from the mouth just looking at this stuff. It's crazy. But that's a quick update I have for you. Make sure you come to the Crypto is Key Conversation YouTube channel. Subscribe. Follow us on Twitter at Crypto is Key 1. Really appreciate your support. With all that being said, stay strong out there. Be safe.